Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Tech Bros podcast featuring myself, Egerton Sinclair, and also Raj.
The suspense. You can't take it. Who could it be? It's Raj. Hey, hello, it's me.
Hello. Right. We are back with episode. You know how I've just lost count of how many episodes we've got. This is probably going to be episode number 9.
I think it's 9, which means that the big 1-0 is coming up soon.
Yes, and then it'll be series number 2.
Well, we should get like a cake with the number 10 on it. Blow out the candles, make a wish.
We should honestly do that. No,
blow out the candles with people distanced. Yeah. It's an excuse to eat cakes, or
exactly. Every day's a cake day.
Exactly.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about NFTs. So Raj, explain what is an NFT.
Oh yeah. So this is the thing that everyone's, well, I guess in terms of tech stories that have sort of exploded in popularity in the past year or so, this is probably one of the most talked about developments in the area of crypto, and it's the idea of non-fungible tokens. That's what NFT stands for. To be honest, I think the name's probably the most confusing thing about it, but I think once you understand the name, it sort of makes sense. So the idea of fungibility is that you can exchange it could be a unit of currency or anything, you can exchange it for something else.
Yes.
So if something is non-fungible, it means that it's non-replaceable by something else. And that basically says that this digital asset, so in this case, that's what a non-fungible token is a digital asset that can't be interchanged for anything else. So if you think about, say, Bitcoins, for example, you can exchange Bitcoins for other currencies, you can exchange it for services and other goods.
Yeah.
But in the case of NFTs, you can't do that because that's what it means by it being non-fungible. And essentially what it means is that you have a series of digital assets, and they can be photos, videos, audio, anything that basically exists in a digital form.
Mm-hmm.
And you basically put essentially a record of that asset on the blockchain, which you've sort of talked about, I think, before on podcasts a little bit, blockchains and how they work and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you put this is maybe the other confusing thing, is you're not putting the asset itself on the blockchain, but you're putting a signature of the asset on the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
And then what that basically is essentially a way of tracking essentially this proof of ownership of that item.
Yeah.
Now, this obviously is a bit strange because if we take one of the examples, which is the Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey's first tweet, where bids for that tweet, for ownership of that tweet, went up to about $2.5 million, right? Which doesn't make sense because you can't, because honestly, the thing is, you could enter the URL and into your browser and look at the tweet, right? So it doesn't really make sense because it's not the thing itself that's being that you don't get like a special copy of the tweet, for example.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not like there's only one. It's not like art where like there's only one Mona Lisa. You can have lots of copies of it, but it's only one original. Whilst with digital items, they can be copied and replicated forever, right?
Absolutely.
So what's being bid for is ownership of that item, this sort of digital signature to say that I own it. And so in a nutshell, that's what NFTs are.
But the thing is, right, even if you do own it, right, like it's not going to show on Twitter that you actually own it.
No, it's not going to be. It's not going to. It's not really going to.
It's not going to show anywhere.
It's not like, say, art, where you can hang it in your living room and say, I own this. Everyone can see that I own this. The thing is, you can sort of look in the whole point of the blockchain, right? Is that it's basically a ledger that keeps track of who owns what. So in the case of Bitcoin, for example, it keeps track of various transactions. So Egerton paid Raj 5 Bitcoins on this date, and it keeps the record of that. Else, in the case of NFTs, it takes basically takes a note of who owns what.
Yeah.
So you could sort of verify it in that sense, in terms of this person does own it, but it's not like something that's explicit as I can hang this piece of art in my living room and everyone knows I own it.
Yeah. Like, I still can't get my head around the whole thing. Because, yeah, as you said, it's a digital thing. Like, there's no way of showing that you actually own it. And when you were saying that about the tweet and that it's digital, I said I bet you there'll be somebody, and this is just me, just thinking crazy, that that person that owns it will probably just print it and post it, hang it on their wall or something, and still says I own this.
Well, yeah, they probably will print a copy of the tweet, but again, it's a copy of the tweet. It's not like if you think about it, a certificate of authenticity, for example, that you might get for a product or whatever that product might be. It's not the product itself that's being put on the blockchain, because anyone can access that tweet anytime they want. It's the same with a lot of like digital art. So, for example, have you seen like there's been an NFT sold for the Nyan Cat GIF?
No way.
It sold for over $500,000. But again, what it's kind of doing, which I think is sort of like, if you think about it in the context of art, because I think it's sort of the best analog that we have for sort of describing it.
Yeah.
The whole point of art and why art is kind of, why things are essentially valuable is because there's a degree of finiteness to it, that there's only one Mona Lisa, so it's valuable. And then you have the sort of historical context and everything around it, which adds to the value of the art. In this sort of digital age, you don't have that scarcity of there's only one of this. And so NFTs are kind of a way, I think, of trying to enforce that sort of scarcity, because it's like, the only way that you could listen to Beethoven's sick new symphony that he just dropped in the 16th century or whatever it is that you had to go there in person and listen to it. You have to listen to people perform it. It was scarce. Now we realized, hey, I want to listen to Beethoven all the time. And so you can get a music file that plays for you on your phone. And so it's no longer finite, it's infinite. Like, you can keep copying it. And so I think this is sort of a way of trying to reverse that and try to assign more value to digital assets.
Yeah. And I was just doing a bit of research earlier about how you can actually buy NFTs, and just taking this from a website that I saw from earlier. So it says that if you wanted to start your own NFT collection, there is certain key items that you will need. The first being that you need a digital wallet that allows you to store NFTs and cryptocurrencies. I'm just trying to think, and this is given promotion, unfortunately. Sponsor us. I don't think that Revolut, because I know Revolut's got like cryptocurrency. I'm not sure if they actually have a wallet for NFTs. Not entirely sure, but we'll get back to you on that one. So it says you will likely need to purchase some cryptocurrency, like Ether. God, nowadays these cryptocurrencies, they just come with some weird names. Ether, yeah, I've never heard of Ether.
Because it's on the Ethereum blockchain, which is now one of the most popular blockchains.
Right. Yeah, till now I never heard of Ether, so I only know like the common ones.
I think it's more popular for its blockchain than it is for its actual currency.
Right.
Because Ethereum's being used for a lot of NFTs, essentially. The blockchain's being used for a lot of essentially creating these digital tokens. And so the currency itself isn't really used as widely as something like Bitcoin, for example, because Bitcoin, you could see that being used for certain transactions, for example. So it's not quite the same for Ether, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Ether, depending on what currencies your NFT provider accepts. Of course, you can buy crypto using credit cards or debit card. I wouldn't suggest doing a credit card. Don't use your credit card to buy crypto, please. Don't make that same mistake that other people that I know have done, and they've lost a lot of money. So yeah, you can buy on platforms such as Coinbase, Kraken, eToro, PayPal, and even Robinhood. Wait, is that the same Robinhood that was causing issues with those GameStop shares?
Yep, with GameStop, yeah.
Right. Okay.
So they're the ones that kind of say, "Hey, you can't just break the economy. We need to step in and stop these people from breaking the economy."
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "No, you can't do that. You can't."
Kind of stops my GameStop shares.
It's like, yeah, you can't stop us from breaking the economy. We can do it if we want.
We want to break it.
Yeah.
Then then after you'll be able to move it from the exchange to a wallet of your choice. Following on from that, there's 3 different types of markets that you can use NFTs. The first one being OpenSea.io. Another one called Rari. Ra EA. No, it's not even an A in there. Rarible.
Rarible. Yeah.
Rarible. That's it. And then this one's simple. Foundation. So those are just a few marketplaces that you can use for NFTs.
Yeah, so Foundation was the one that was used to sell Nyan Cat, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
And you can basically have artists receiving upvotes to post their art.
Oh.
And I can see, and I guess artists, I think the sort of selling of digital art is the thing that I can maybe see the most sort of use out of this, I guess. Because I think a lot of the time, I mean, you put art online, it's hard to really do it in such a way that actually maintains the value of the art and actually kind of, because you can sort of think of art as almost being like a service in a way. Like if you commission someone to draw something for you, they could then take that and they can just post it online and it can get replicated many times.
Yeah.
And so you can sort of see in a way that for artists it's a way of actually assigning value to the art. And the thing is this can be just like anything else where the price of things can go up and down. You might buy the rights to you might buy this sort of digital ownership of Jack Dorsey's tweet.
Yeah.
But say if he lands himself in hot water, well, I mean, he already has done that several times. But let's say if he does something really bad, the value of that tweet's going to go down a lot, and you've made a loss basically. Yeah. So it's just like anything else, right? It's speculative, but that the value can go up and down.
Yes, exactly. And one thing I've just noticed here, and it kind of makes me think back to the mining of cryptocurrency, that they say for NFTs, you can mint NFTs.
Yeah.
So I assume that is the same kind of concept.
Yeah. So mining was basically the way in which, sort of to recap, the way that the blockchains are able to work is that you don't have a centralized authority like a bank that verifies transactions.
Yeah.
It's decentralized so that everyone kind of has a part in making sure that everything is sort of kept in order in terms of transactions being legitimate. And so everyone basically does these hard, it's essentially a hard mathematical sum on their machine in order to actually verify each of these transactions. And when you do that, you're rewarded with some currency usually.
Yes.
So that's why mining is kind of a big, it can be quite a big money maker, just because you're maintaining the blockchain, you're helping to maintain the blockchain, but you're also getting money out of it as well.
Yeah.
And also why mining probably uses up like so much energy. Because you probably you must connect like lots and lots of computing power in order to actually get this to work properly, because it's a very tough mathematical sums that you have to solve basically. And so that's why it ends up using up quite a lot of energy. And probably for the environment, it's not great.
No, not great at all, and not great for your pocket either.
Yeah.
Yes. So, in your opinion, would you buy NFTs?
Well, I think the idea of, I guess, assigning this sort of, because like I said, it's sort of assigning value to something that isn't scarce is, I think, the point. And I think in that sense, I can see it for maybe smaller artists, it being quite good as a way of making money.
Yes.
But I think if you were to ask me if I wanted to buy a digital certificate that I own this cat video, I'm not going to buy it. It just seems stupid, because I can go onto like YouTube and just get it. And I didn't have to pay money for it. And I don't really want to pay money for it. It's literally just like, I think most of this is just having the bragging rights to be able to say, oh yeah, that tweet from Jack Dorsey, I own that. And that's like basically it, is you're paying money just for bragging rights, just to say that you own it. Yeah, I think if it is but if it's a way to support artists, then I think that's maybe the only use for it that I can see as being useful. Other than that, I just see it as a waste of electricity.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the same way. So if somebody asks me that question, I'll be like, hell no. Absolutely, hell to the no. And
especially with like the amount of money that people are willing to spend on some of this stuff.
That's the thing.
And in terms of like what you get back out of it, it's like not much, except for just these bragging rights. Like if you spend a lot on a painting, it's at least it's a physical thing that you can have a look at, and you can say that I own this, and it has some value to it outside of just saying I own this.
Yeah.
Whilst I don't think that an NFT as a good has any value outside of it other than I own it.
Yeah, basically. And one thing I note here as well, that it states that an NFT may resell for less than you paid for it. Or, even worse, you may not even be able to resell it at all if no one wants it. So either way, you've lost.
Exactly. But again, it's the same as any art, basically, or any sort of speculative asset, is that its price could change.
Yeah.
My sense is that if you were going to, I don't know if people are necessarily buying NFTs in order to actually make money off of them.
Right.
I'm not sure if people are buying tweets and gifts and things like that in order to resell it, because I think that now you're probably going to see a peak in value because NFTs are kind of hot right now.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go down in value as more people actually clock onto it.
Like cryptocurrency.
Well, cryptos in general, but I think NFTs as well, just because it's sort of quite current now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I don't think you're very likely to make a profit. I don't see like a lot of these NFTs as good investments. I think investing in cryptocurrency generally is volatile, but I don't see it as a money-making venture, particularly for NFTs.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? As I said, the risk is too big for me. I'm not interested.
the thing is, there's a lot of like cryptocurrencies, and there's a lot of blockchains, and a lot of them are framed in such a way to say, hey, you can make a lot of money off of this, but
Yeah.
most of them are just either pyramid schemes, Ponzi schemes,
Ponzi.
silliness that Ponzi.
Ponzi.
I just,
Gosh.
there's a lot of them. You need to listen to Missing Crypto Queen, the podcast.
Oh yes, I remember you saying that to me a while ago. I still need to have a listen.
Still waiting on episode 10. They've released 9 episodes, and the story's kind of not finished. But I guess it was probably because, the pandemic happened, and it kind of scuppered a lot of the investigative journalism that they could do. Yeah. Well, the one thing I will say though is that it was, I think, Francis Bacon who said that art only does not have any value other than itself. Yeah. And I think that the idea of paying for owning something just so that you can say that you own something, even though you don't actually own it, is very artsy if you were using that definition. Like literally you're paying to be able to say, I own it, but everyone can access it on the internet, so it's pointless.
Yeah.
But in a way, that's art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true. So yeah, I don't think we've got anything else on NFTs to talk about, do we? No.
Well.
Oh, okay, you got something?
I'm just thinking, what would be, can you think of like any sort of digital thing that you would be most excited to see as an NFT, just to like have, like say you didn't have to pay for it, but like to say that I own this thing. It could be a video or a tweet or whatever it could be, just to be able to say that you own it.
Oh God. Well, I don't know. I don't really know about tweets. Is it? No, I wouldn't say a tweet. I don't know, because I'm just one of those people that no.
It could be a video you really like, or a particular image or something.
Okay,
I'll tell you mine. Right, it's the. Have you seen the rap battle parody on YouTube?
Rap battle.
The parody where he's like, I broke up with my ex-girl. Here's her number. Psych, that's the wrong number. That's maybe my favorite YouTube video, and I think that would be the one that I would own.
To be honest, there's so many YouTube videos that are kind of my favorite. But yeah, no, I don't think there'll be a tweet per se. Probably an image.
But which one?
That's the question. Well, I don't really have one. I don't really have an image in particular, but me with my aviation head on, because I love my aviation. You know those pictures, like you've got like an aircraft that's taken off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of those kind of images.
Okay, one of those sort of images. All right.
Yeah, one of those kind of images is quite nice, I would say. Yeah, that's something I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, if I was like making like I imagine like these things were going in museums, for example. Like I think that rap battle parody video belongs in a museum. It's like anyone who knows it knows it's like old, but it's also like classic. It's like a piece of art.
Yes, classical timepiece.
Yeah, it's like a time capsule, and I feel like that's sort of what they're trying to do with this. Is like trying to make things more valuable, and whether it actually works, I don't think so. But hey, they're doing it.
No, I'm still. You know what? I'm still actually thinking. I don't think there's actually an actual tweet that I would pay for.
Yeah, tweets I understand less. I feel like with videos and images, it makes a bit more sense. But tweets, I kind of don't get that.
Yeah.
I guess Jack Dorsey's tweet is a unique example just because it's like one of the first tweets.
Yeah, tweet like
So
one.
okay, there's like some history to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think Twitter's been like a net good for society. So I don't really know if it's worth owning.
I can only use Twitter to complain, so that clearly shows that I don't.
Well, I guess it's a good net good in that sense for being able to talk to customer service. But apart from that,
yeah, exactly. Apart from that, it's very questionable.
there aren't a lot of great tweets that I'd be like, oh yeah, I want to own that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Maybe there's that Tim Allen one where he says, if we've evolved from apes, why are there still apes?
Oh.
That one is really bad.
Yeah. I got that one. Yeah. Do we have anything else?
No, I think that's better.
Oh. So that's all we have for NFTs. So remember to like, share. Just like and share and what? Comment.
And who knows? Someone might own this podcast in the future. They might be digital. Someone might be the digital owner of this podcast. And if you are, thank you for supporting us.
Thank you. And send the money our way, please.
Actually, yeah, I don't think would the money go to us? I guess the money would go to us.
I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah, we should just make NFTs of our episodes and then sell them. And then that would be how we make money.
Yes, we need it. But yes, remember to like, share, and comment. Thank you for listening to our episode on NFTs. And we shall speak to you very soon. Yes.
Bye.
Goodbye.